Welcome to
House of Whimsical Terror.
I'm Esther.
I'm Mary.
And we're speaking to you from Tucson, Arizona.
And we're telling real stories of the fantastical.
All of our stories are true or told to us as true.
Occasionally, we alter the names to protect privacy.
Place names for the same reason.
And today's story is a helpful ghost.
A helpful ghost.
Yeah.
So we know those stories about ghosts that maybe pitch in when you need them, or I don't know, maybe they're our ancestors. I don't know who they are, but they are ghosts that somehow help us out in some way.
Yes.
And this is a story that my coworker Esperanza, she goes by SB, she told me this story years ago and I love it. She's actually told me two stories. One that is one of the most terrifying stories I've ever heard, and I'm hoping that we can get her on as a guest.
That would be fantastic.
Or I'll try to recreate the story as much as I remember it. But this one is a really sweet story. So she told the story about her uncle who lived downtown Tucson, you know, before it was all built up and it's all fancy schmancy like it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And whenever it's new again.
Anyway, again, exactly. Yeah. But this is like, you know, maybe 60 years ago or so. And he lived in those kind of row houses, you know, where they're all kind of stuck together and they're old adobe kind of houses.
Like the railroad houses.
Yeah, exactly. So he lived in one of those, and this one night, you know, he had been out partying. He was tired. This kind of sounds like the story of the my aunt's cousin in La Llorona, but it's kind of similar.
A little bit different.
Yeah. So he came home, passed out, and he was really tired. And it was a winter night, and he was cold. So, you know, he bundled up in his covers and fell asleep.
Right.
And partway through the night, you know, his covers started to kind of slide off, which he thought was sort of weird, but he was sleepy, so he decided he wasn't going to wake up and deal with it. So he got up and pulled his covers back up and went back to sleep. And all of a sudden he felt his covers being pulled off again, but it was weird. Like it wasn't like they were falling off. Right. It was like someone was pulling his covers off.
So really pronounced.
Yeah. He gets up and he looks down, and sure enough, his covers are being slowly pulled off of him.
Oh, he could see it.
Yeah. Oh. And he knows they're not falling. They're like, you know, there's nothing making them fall. Right. They're being pulled off. So he pulled him back up, and now he's awake. So he is looking to see what happens. And sure enough, it's as though someone is slowly pulling the covers off. And he thought, okay, that's weird, but I need to get some sleep. So he pulls the covers up and he goes back to sleep. And all of a sudden he feels the covers yanked off of him, like roughly yanked. And he heard them kind of hit the wall across the room, like someone had thrown them.
Yeah.
And he opened his eyes. Yes, exactly. Right. So he felt that whoever it was now fighting over the covers with him. And he opens his eyes and the room is filled with light, with this like sort of yellowish orange light. And he thinks, what the heck is going on? So he gets up and, you know, throws on some clothes and kind of looking around the room and realizes the light is coming from outside. So he opens his door. The row house next to him is on fire.
Oh, wow.
And it's spreading to his row house.
Oh.
So whoever it was trying to wake him up.
Yeah. And let him know.
He was at cross purposes with the helpful ghost.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that story.
Great story.
I know it's short, but I wanted to get it in at some point.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if we could get SB here to tell it, but she's got some really, really good ones.
So maybe we can get her as a guest.
Yeah, I hope so.
And it's a holiday season.
True.
So I don't know that we'll have any holiday ghost stories, but we might.
We might. We should think of some of the ones we might know.
What happens?
Yeah.
During this.
We also want to remind folks to send stories that you might want read during our Midnight Circle. So I don't know if Mary's going to be with me, but I'm going to stay up at midnight one night and read your stories. They can be short. They can be like just quick anecdotes. They can be longer. And just send those to me. If you're ever going to be the guest on a show, don't worry about sending those stories because we'll get them. But you send them to houseofwhimsicalterror@gmail.com. Please send them. I would love to open up my email and find them from you. Yeah. And I'll respond and let you know I got it if you send them. So houseofwhimsicalterror@gmail.com.
And I might even stay up and be there with you.
I doubt it, but that would be nice because you can run
it could happen.
tech.
It could happen. Yeah. So long, good friends. I'm so glad that you joined us. And until next time, when we see you back at the house.